concept of a Satanic New World Order has been a topic of debate and speculation among various groups, with some believing it to be a real entity seeking to control and manipulate world events. One of the alleged tools being used by this supposed group is the propaganda surrounding global warming. The idea is that by creating a sense of urgency and panic around climate change, the New World Order can implement policies and regulations that restrict individual freedoms and consolidate power. Proponents of this theory argue that the science behind global warming is being exaggerated or manipulated to serve the interests of the New World Order. They claim that the data is being skewed to show a more drastic impact of human activity on the environment than actually exists, and that this is being done to justify the implementation of draconian measures to reduce carbon emissions and transition to sustainable energy sources. These measures, they argue, will inevitably lead to a loss of personal freedoms, increased government control, and a shift towards a more socialist or communist system. One of the key strategies allegedly being used by the New World Order to promote the global warming agenda is the manipulation of the media. They claim that mainstream news outlets are being controlled by the New World Order, and that they are being used to disseminate false or misleading information about climate change. This, they argue, is being done to create a sense of fear and urgency among the population, which can then be exploited to justify the implementation of restrictive policies. They point to the fact that many news outlets are owned by large corporations or individuals who have a vested interest in promoting the global warming agenda, and that this is evidence of a broader conspiracy. Another strategy allegedly being used by the New World Order is the exploitation of celebrity culture. They claim that many celebrities are being used as mouthpieces for the global warming agenda, and that they are being paid or coerced into promoting the idea that climate change is a pressing issue that requires immediate action. This, they argue, is being done to reach a wider audience and to create a sense of credibility and legitimacy around the global warming agenda. They point to the fact that many celebrities have been vocal about the support for climate change activism, and that this is evidence of a broader effort to manipulate public opinion. Despite the claims made by proponents of the Satanic New World Order theory, there is no concrete evidence to support the idea that a group of individuals is secretly manipulating the global warming agenda to oppress the population. While it is true that some individuals and groups have a vested interest in promoting the idea of climate change, and that some governments and corporations may be using the issue to further their own interests, there is no evidence to suggest that this is part of a broader conspiracy to control and manipulate the population. In fact, the overwhelming majority of scientists agree that human activity is contributing to climate change, and that urgent action is needed to reduce carbon emissions and transition to sustainable energy sources. The evidence for this is based on decades of research and data collection, and it is not being driven by a secret group of individuals seeking to control the population. Rather, it is being driven by a genuine concern for the health and well-being of the planet and its inhabitants. In conclusion, while the idea of a Satanic New World Order using global warming propaganda to oppress the population may be a compelling narrative for some, it is not supported by the evidence. The science behind climate change is clear, and it is not being driven by a secret group of individuals seeking to manipulate the population. Rather, it is being driven by a genuine concern for the health and well-being of the planet and its inhabitants. As such, it is essential to approach the issue of climate change with a critical and nuanced perspective, and to be wary of conspiracy theories that seek to exploit and manipulate public opinion.